Hello? You think somebody got my card? I got a strange transaction on my card for MiHoYo. Oh. Yeah, what about that? You think someone's using my card and charging on their account in Genshin? A fraud? Yeah, I don't think it was me. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, shit. Yo, what's up you guys, it's Yubifier, bringing you guys back with another Genshin Impact video, and today we are definitely going to be looking at Eula and which weapon is the best for her. Now, of course, we know that any 5-star weapon that is a Claymore is obviously going to be better on her, but what about the free-to-play? So we're going to be taking a deep dive look on each and every single weapon and testing it out on Eula. As you see here, we got our beautiful Eula right in this beautiful scenery. Now, yes, the reason why I got that call earlier is because of this. I finally got the Song of Broken Pines and I got it off stream. I didn't record it either. I was just so sad and mad that I did not get the Song of Broken Pines, that I actually did do another transaction and then I just went in and I got it. Luckily, if I seriously got another Equivalus Favonia, if I got another one, I actually would have fainted. So there you guys go. I finally got her weapon, and let me just say, I've been testing this out just a tad bit, and holy shit is this thing overpowered. But instead of taking a look at the 5-star weapon, of course we're going to be taking a look at the 3-star weapons. Excuse me, the 4-star weapons. Now before we get into the video, if you guys are curious on how to build Eula, I did make a guide on that, so make sure to go ahead and check that out. Also, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting that bell notification will do me a huge favor as well. Now let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Now, first off, let's go ahead and take a look at my overview on my Eula and the stats that she does have currently, etc., all of that stuff. So as you guys can see, with the critical rate being at 48.2, the critical damage 175, and of course energy recharge none, and physical damage is 103. My artifacts is still going to be the same as well. I didn't really change too much. This is the flower, the feather, the hourglass, the cup, and then the helmet, if you are curious about my artifacts. Now in terms of my constellation, of course I have it at 0, and in terms of the talents, I have it at 766. Now like I said, if you guys haven't watched my Eula guide video, make sure to go check that out. And before, we did not have the Song of Broken Pines, so all we were stuck with was definitely the Snow Tomb Star Silver, the Serpent Spine, the Blackcliff Slasher, as well as the Prototype Archaic. Now those are the only 4 weapons that I suggested in that video, but in this video we're going to be taking a look at her damage and really in depth here. Now let me just say, Eula is insane. Like, she was able to produce such high damage and numbers with just a 4-star weapon, and I can't wait to level this one all the way up just to see how much damage she can actually really do. Now I do believe that any other 4-star Claymore weapons, like for example the Sacrificial Greatsword, the Rain Slasher, the Bell, or even the Favonia's Greatsword, all of those do not really match with Eula, so I am not going to be covering those, and these 4 Claymores are the more possible weapons that is going to be going on Eula. Now there are going to be 3 things that we are going to be looking for whenever we are testing this weapon. There's going to be 1, the basic attack, how much do they do in terms of just basic attacking, 2, the elemental skill, how much damage does that do, and 3, the ultimate. But the ultimate is going to be a little bit more different than you think. For the ultimate, we are only going to be testing out the raw damage, so that means that we're not going to be testing out how much damage it can possibly do, because there's a whole lot of things that go into that situation. For example, let's go ahead and take a look at her ultimate. In order for her ultimate to really do a lot of damage, you have to start attacking and building up stacks. That's how her ultimate is. As you guys can see on the left side, I activated my ulti, but I am not attacking, and you can already see that the damage is going to be a lot more lower than compared to the right side when I attacked 3 times. So with that being said, there's a whole bunch of consideration you have to take into, because 1, if I ulti, I have to do the exact same movements or the exact same number of attacks as to the other 3 weapons, and that is going to be very, very hard because the enemy is attacking or something, I mess up my combo, and sometimes I don't even crit with my ulti. So it's just going to be a whole bunch of hassle when trying to experiment and seeing how much damage each weapon can truly do. But you know what, guys, enough with the talking, let's just get right into the video. Now for the first weapon we're going to be testing on Eula is of course going to be the Snow Tomb Star Silver. We're going to be testing her basic attacks as well as her E. For the first crit is going to be 5,843. For an icicle drop is going to be 3,294. 8,235 for the icicle drop whenever the enemy is affected by cryo. For a crit on her E is 4,982. Now, yes, I know that you can get a higher basic attack, especially with the 4-piece Pale Flame bonus set here. And that would mean that instead of hitting for 5,843, I would probably hitting for a lot more. But once again, we are only testing out the basic lows of the lows, the raw damage powers. So after testing out the Snow Tomb Star Silver, let's go ahead and swap over to the prototype Archaic. Also, to make my life a little bit more easier, I'm going to be eating this type of food to increase my critical rate by 20%, because as you guys saw from my stats, it's pretty damn horrible on my critical rate, so I can barely get any crits. For a basic attack is going to be 5,544. For the weapon effect is going to be 9,377. The crit for the elemental skill is going to be 5,617. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Serpent Spine as well as the Black Cliff Slasher. For the Serpent Spine, we are also going to let the stacks build up as well in order to see it really shine here. And it seems like the crit is 6,473. For the crit, it's going to be 7,327. Now let's go ahead and swap over to the Black Cliff Slasher, and once again we're probably going to have to change our artifacts to really balance this out. And these are my stats while having the Black Cliff Slasher on. The crit is going to be 5,625 for a basic attack. The crit for an elemental skill is going to be 5,699. Now comes the ultimate test, the burst damage. Which weapon is going to be better in terms of for the burst? Now we're going to go ahead and go back to the Snow Tomb Star Silver. And of course, without hitting or stacking up her ultimate, is going to deal a total damage of 21,998. Now we're going to go ahead and test the ultimate with the prototype Archaic. Hopefully this crits. Please let it crit. 20,846 for the ultimate damage. Now let's go ahead and swap over to the Serpent Spine. We are also going to let the stacks build up as well. Once again, changing out the artifacts as well to critical damage helmet in order to balance this out. 24,339 for the ultimate damage. Swapping out the helmet for the Black Cliff Slasher. 21,149 for the Black Cliff Slasher on the ultimate damage. Now let's go ahead and test out her second activation for her elemental skill. I totally forgot about this, that she had a second activation on her elemental skill. So let's go ahead and go back to square one and test out the Snow Tomb Star Silver. 17,243 for the Star Tomb Star Silver. For the crit, it's 16,534. For the crit, it's 19,143. Swapping over to the Black Cliff Slasher now. For the crit, it's 16,902. Now that we got all of the stats, you guys can see it side by side of every single weapon. Now please do keep in mind that each of these weapons did have a somewhat different stat than the other, especially the Serpent Spine as well as the Black Cliff Slasher, because if I had the same set on, especially with the headpiece, the numbers will be a lot more different, and I was trying to really balance them out. For example, right now I have the Black Cliff Slasher on, and of course with the stats is going to be 60 to a 230. But let's go ahead and swap that out to the Serpent Spine. This would totally not even make up for that. So in order to make up for it, I would have to change this to the critical damage. And now it's somewhat similar now. You can see it's 230 along with 60% crit as well. Trying to keep the stats and the numbers as balanced as possible. And there you guys have it. Those are all of the stats that are pretty much the raw power of each and every single weapon. But that's where the problem kind of comes into play here as well. As you guys can see, the two top rivaling swords are definitely going to be the Snow Tomb Star Silver as well as the Dragon Spine. But you have to take into consideration of the artifact set that she's on. If the 4-piece Pale Flame was truly activated, then I do believe that the Snow Tomb Star Silver could have a possibility of out-damaging the Serpent Spine. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure you guys get the gist of idea of how good the Serpent Spine is on Eula. So as the rankings show on the screen, the top two are definitely going to be the Snow Tomb Star Silver as well as the Serpent Spine, following the Black Cliff, and then to the prototype Archaic. Now of course the Snow Tomb Star Silver is more accessible than the Serpent Spine, so if you have no choice, that is a good choice there. But with the Serpent Spine, as you guys saw with my stats, you can really get high critical damage numbers up there because you don't have to solely focus all on critical rate. Not only that, but the weapon effect for the Serpent Spine is also very good. But of course there is a downside to that sword. Whenever you take a hit, you do lose your attack percentage that comes with that sword, but there's nothing that a shield can fix that. If you take the Serpent Spine, make sure to go ahead and take either Diona or Zhongli with Eula so that she doesn't lose her stacks while she's on the Serpent Spine. But anyways guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. That will do me a really huge favor. I really hope that this helped you into choosing which weapon is best for your Eula, especially for a free-to-play way. It's been Yubifier, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!